Good morning, everyone. Marc Bruin from Simplifying Life from my lounge for a change with Amsterdam there in the backdrop. A quick video today on a topic that's slowly but surely getting to me in a good way, in a bad way as well, which is the funding system of Australian mental health and all sorts of weird misconceptions that seem to exist around it and are quite persistent. They just don't want to go. Traditionally, Medicare, which is the government funding for medical services, has always gone in a particular direction, which is psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers. Now, over time, these people have gotten busier and busier and busier, and they sometimes have waiting lists going on. Now, since last year, obviously, when COVID hit our shores, those waiting lists have become longer, and many psychologists, to speak in my industry, definitely have had to close their books to not burn out, or had so many people asking for their service that they had to close the books for that reason, or have waiting lists 3 to 6 months or maybe shorter, but sometimes significant wait lists. And now the media is shouting and crying poor that there is a mental health crisis going on in Australia and something needs to be done. Now, that's the thing that actually irks me, because from my point of view as a counsellor, there is no mental health crisis in terms of the supply side. There are plenty of professionals out there that can help. They're just being ignored, disregarded. Their existence seems to be unknown. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is exactly, other than a traditional funding model that just keeps it going in one particular direction, and that seems to be the direction that everyone considers the one. There is no other. So let me put it really clearly. You don't need to go to a GP in order to see a counsellor or a psychotherapist. You don't need to get a mental health care plan in order to access mental health. You can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually applaud it because it can be an extra path on your way back to mental health, but you don't need it. And then on top of that, many people seem to think that you can get free counselling sessions or free sessions with a psychologist. Well, that's, in some cases, that's true. There are still psychologists out there that will charge you the Medicare rebate as their hourly fee, which is about $90. But most psychologists realistically will charge you anywhere between ballpark $125 an hour to maybe $150, $175 an hour. And some psychologists or clinical psychologists with a special interest area or specialized training can charge you up to $450 per session. I know one who does that. So you're looking at significant fees, and then you get anywhere between $90 and $110, $115 back on that one. So you're still very much out of pocket. Now, that's with a GP referral. The problem is that the GP referral line is automatically to psychologists or psychiatrists, medical doctor, or potentially to a mental health social worker here and there, but not to counsellors and not to psychotherapists. And there's a big history that I won't go into why that's come about that way. But the media seems to pick up on that, and the public opinion seems to be around that psychologists are fully booked and can't see me, and there's a mental health crisis going on. Well, I can tell you, pure and simple, I could see someone next week. I got gaps next week, actually. I got gaps this week. I could see you, today is Tuesday. I could see you on Friday if there's really something going on. I could make time for that, and definitely next week. And so are many other of my colleagues. So this whole idea of a mental health crisis in terms of the supply side, the demand side, absolutely, there's lots going on in the mental health work. But on the supply side, there is no mental health crisis going on. There are psychiatrists, there are psychologists, there are counsellors, there are psychotherapists, mental health, social workers, who all could see you, but some are definitely very busy. And then there's the other ones that could still see you, are also busy, but not as busy. It's just that they don't go through the normal referral steps with a GP, and that seems to be the steps that people know. They don't know anything else. So let me repeat that. You do not need a GP referral to come and see me or my colleagues, my counsellor colleagues and my psychotherapist colleagues. You don't need them. You just need to look on Google, find a good one, make an appointment with this person. Yes, you will be out of pocket. You will be charged a fee for that service. And ballpark, anywhere between 75, that's on the cheaper side, to about 150, $200 a session potentially if you get a really experienced, highly qualified counsellor psychotherapist next to you. But you would most likely pay money for psychologists anyway, even with your Medicare rebate and even with your GP fee if you've got to pay for that one out of your own pocket. So you're going to pay some money most likely anyway, because the bulk billing psychologists, yes, they probably are booked out about 3 to 6 months in advance. And that's no good if you've got a mental health problem now. Yes, so I don't know how simple I need to make it, but there is no mental health supply problem in Australia. There are people like me that go like, hello, we're here. We can see you, we can help you, and you don't need to go and see your GP. You don't need that referral. We can assist. Does that mean that the system is broken? It's like, no, it's complementary. We don't need to be either or. But there seems to be something wonky that there are multiple forks in the road, and you could go either fork, but the government just chooses to go 2 or 3 or 4 forks and pretty much disregard all the other ones. And that's what I'm not getting. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. The Australian Counselling Association and the Psychotherapy and Counselling Federation of Australia, which are the 2 major governing bodies in Australia for counsellors and psychotherapists, have been pounding the pavement, have been knocking on doors to get that misconception corrected, and they're making good inroads, but there's still a lot to be done. But for you as a potential client, you can just come and see me or one of my colleagues, wherever you are. You'll pay a fee. In my case, you'll pay $110 to come and see me at the moment. That's September 2021. So you'll pay me for that, but you'll probably would be paying a psychologist anyway, roughly the same amount, including your Medicare rebate. So you would still out of pocket. So you can choose. So let that sink in. I think, if people need assistance, look for a counsellor and a psychotherapist with lots of life experience, with some vocational or higher education qualifications, some postgraduate stuff, make them some vocational graduate diploma. So look for a person who can understand you, who gels well with you, and whom you think you can trust and work with. And just ring that person up and make an appointment. It's as simple as that. That's how it can work, and that's how we could absolutely resolve some of those mental health issues if people knew that they had access to more people. The other side that's for us to deal with is like still trying to get into the better access for mental health system, where we can get some rebates and become part of the official line of service. But outside that, if you got a mental health issue at the moment, if you're not feeling great, you can just ring us up. Look us up on Google. Type something in: Counsellor Sunshine Coast, psychotherapist Sydney, mental health professional Perth, wherever you are. And there would be someone locally who could see you most likely next week, if not this week. So go and take that into account. Not everything needs to be diagnosed by a GP. I've done another video on that one that has all sorts of potential ramifications as well. Won't go into that. Just pick your person and get your mental health sorted. Don't just buy into what the media is telling you about all this stuff, because it's just not true. So if you got questions on that, I've been going way too long already, but if you got questions on that, you know where to find me. Find me on Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever. Send me an email, marc@simplifyinglife.com.au. Just email me and then we'll get talking. But I'd really like to encourage you to not wait or not settle for waiting lists. If there are no waiting lists in your local area, don't do it. So go and get yourself sorted out. We're here to help. Let us help you by you helping us to actually get acknowledged for that. So look forward to speaking with you. Enjoy your day. Have a good one.